What's up, losers? It's early. Got the Mustang back here. Ronnie's at work today, so I'm over here working on it by myself. Got a couple things we're doing today, putting coilovers on the Mustang, and we're also packaging up some rotary parts to send out and get them worked on. A few videos back, we had the RX-7 on the dyno, and we ended up toasting the motor. We got it off of eBay and didn't really know the condition of it. We just decided to run it anyway, and it ended up just like chewing up bearings and then breaking an apex seal. I don't know if we got into detonation or what, but we're gonna pack those up and send them off. Like I said, we're gonna get coilovers on the Mustang. We took it to autocross in the last video. And it did pretty good, but I've been wanting to get it on the drift track, and plus I want it to look a little better and be a little lower than it is. So coilovers are definitely the way to go. So here's what we got. SR coilovers. They came with adjustable sway bar links, you know, all the normal stuff, instructions, nuts, spanner wrenches, things like that. So, you know, nothing fancy. They were about 850 bucks off of, I don't remember where I got them, maybe American Muscle or something like that. You know, one of those Mustang places. If you've never installed coilovers before, just know this isn't a big deal. There's some nuts up top. There's some nuts and bolts down bottom, like a couple, and you gotta like disconnect your brake line because it's usually hanging on to the factory damper, and usually disconnect your sway bar. I mean, it just pops right out. The fronts are usually, I don't know. I think on this, the fronts are probably going to be easier. They're probably going to be real quick, and then the backs you have to get up under and drop the subframe and stuff like that. Because it's not like it's not like a coilover type thing. It's just like a adjustable spring perch, and then it's a linked adjustable damper, a shock absorber in the back. So it's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. Not a big deal. I know I said this wasn't going to be a big deal, but I found something that I don't have that I need. It's a 24 millimeter deep well socket. That's what I need. So I got to go to the store already. So we're going to take the Mustang to get something I need for the other Mustang. And coincidentally, this Mustang has the same brand of coilovers on it. It has those SR performance coilovers. And I like them on this. They're comfy. It gets low. Like, it gets way lower than it is right now. And it's fairly low. But I think the drop from factory is anywhere between 1 and 3 inches. That's what, like, the ad says. So I don't know. I don't necessarily want to drop my other Mustang 3 inches, but I do want to drop it a couple inches just to get it nice and low and pretty. So I guess we're going to I don't know, Harbor Freight or something. It's always funny driving around in this Mustang because it's a tub. Like, there's nothing in here except for a roll cage, some seats, and these harnesses. Which is even funnier because, like, it's all prepared to be a drift car, but it's still got the 88 horsepower 4-cylinder in it. I don't know why I haven't been working on the 302. I guess I'm just kind of lazy. But I mean, I got a lot of projects, a lot of stuff to work on. So hopefully I can get the other Mustang on the track and have some fun while I'm building this one. So we're back at it. I got the socket that I needed. It's crazy what short work a freaking impact gun will make of bolts and nuts and things. These strut bolts are pressed in, so I'm gonna have to press them out. So here's what we're replacing, and there's what we're replacing it with. This had some sort of aftermarket lowering spring on it when I got it. And I don't know, it looked like it lowered about 1.5 inches or maybe 2 inches. I don't know. It's tough to say because I didn't see it when it was factory height. But we're going to try to get these coilovers to about the same length, maybe a tad shorter, just because I know the spring rate's probably going to be a little stiffer, so they're not going to compress as much once we lower the Mustang down on its own weight. So we're going to get these adjusted, get one on, and then we'll do the other side. All right, I was about to put this coilover in, and I was looking at all this on top, and it looks like for Camber, it's pretty centered here. I don't know who these guys think they're playing with, but like, yeah, that's not gonna work. I need like all the way this way because I'm trying to run some negative camber. I want to look dope as well as act like I'm trying to like drift. So yeah, we're gonna adjust that right now. All right, so we're gonna loosen all these up. All these Allen screws on the top. That is if I'm not a giant wussy and can actually get them loose. There you go. Feels like they're kind of like Loctited in there or something, which is fine. They should have gave me all the camber and then Loctited them in there. Like, what's wrong with these guys? All right, so I got to move these two Allen screws right here. Fortunately, they added other holes in here, so you can move these Allen screws as far over as you want. There's these holes here, and then there's 1, 2, 3 more holes. So if you want to move these all the way over this way, you can slide the camber plate all the way in. I'm going to move them all the way because I'm pretty sure I'm going to want more negative camber than they had in mind. Things up some more, I guess. Aha! There we go. That's some daggum negative camber right there. That's what I'm talking about. So, you know, this is how we're going to do it, and we'll deal with the backlash later. Like if it turns out to be, you know, if I just put like 5 degrees on this fool, which is way more negative than I want to run. I'd like to run 2 to 2.5 degrees, maybe 3, depending on how it looks. But yeah, if I just put like 5 or 6 degrees on this fool, we're gonna have to take them back out and redo it. But this is how we're gonna start out right here. I'm gonna start out like this. All right, so check it out. This is the side before. This is the passenger side. It's a little, God, the light's kind of tough, but you can see like wheels poking out a little bit. We're gonna go over this side after adjusting the camber, putting the coilover on. Dude, it's tucking just right. We still need to drop it probably another inch maybe, and we'll see. But we haven't done anything to the back yet. We're gonna do the fronts and then see how it looks. We're gonna take it for a little drive around just after we do the fronts, and then we're gonna do the backs. All right, so this is kind of crappy. On the car itself, this hole, like I've never seen this. I've never seen like a reinforced thing like this, but the Allen screws in there are pretty much inaccessible. All right, so I got the fronts done, and I realized that I couldn't get the backs on and go as low as I wanted with the same tires. So it's been a few days because I ordered some tires and they came in, and I just went and got them put on, and you can see they're smaller tires, so I can lower the back more and lower the front more. I originally had a 265 40 19, and I switched to a 265 35 19. And as you can see, there is considerable wheel gap, probably, I don't know, an inch or a little bit more than an inch. But we're hoping to get rid of that today. We're going to put the back springs on with the adjustable spring perches, and we're going to pull the camber out a little more positive, and we're going to do this around. We are going to cut these open right here because I showed you earlier that it's difficult to get to the adjustment screws right here. So we're gonna cut this open right here so we can actually get to these Allen screws and adjust our camber without having to take the stupid coilovers off. So that's what we're doing right now. So these are the cuts that I made to be able to get to these camber bolts here, these Allen screws, to loosen that up. Now I'm up under here, coilovers. We're gonna loosen this right here and we're just gonna spin this down maybe like, I don't know, we'll start at an inch and see how it looks. I'm trying to keep these video segments like short and sweet because it's windy as crap out here. So I'm just kind of showing you what I'm doing. You got to take these two bolts loose. You got to take the sway bar end link loose right here. Basically what we're doing is we're dropping the subframe so it'll release the tension on this spring so we can just pull it right out. So there's also some subframe bolts up front and out back that we got to, I think we loosen. There's one, like we take the fronts out and then we just loosen the backs so we don't have to align all this stuff afterwards to get it back together. I think you just loosen the back and remove the fronts and it should drop down enough for us to pull the spring out. Measure the other spring, get it about the right height and get it back in. We want to get it as close to what we want as possible before we put it in, because once we get it in, it's a pain to take all this back out just to lower that perch and then, you know, put it all back together. It'd be a pain to have to adjust it like that. So usually when we get into these projects, we end up going back to like really primitive tools like this crowbar right here. So to get this spring out, I had to get up in here like this and pry down to get the subframe to move, to get it out of this space right here, there to like there. Yeah, if you pry down hard enough with one hand, you should be able to pull it out with the other. It's lots of fun, you know. So I've driven the car around for a day with it being fairly low, and the back's not low enough. So I found out, like by taking my wheel off and getting in here, that I can actually adjust this from right here. I just took this line loose and I get about, I don't know, a quarter of a turn, maybe a little more than a quarter of a turn, and I'm able to lower the car down. So basically what I'm doing right now is just lowering the rear spring seat as far as it'll go. I guess I'm just raising it as far as it'll go because that's what lowers the car, is shortening the spring seat. So, but it's on the top, so you have to like raise it as far as it'll go to actually lower the car. So that's what I'm doing right now to see how low this thing will actually go. And I'm probably going to lower the front a little more, and I don't know, maybe we'll have some pics or vids for you in just a minute. So I finished eventually, got everything on, got everything adjusted. I put some different tires on it. I got the back as low as it would possibly go. I adjusted the coilover down all the way, and to get it any lower, I'm gonna have to take one of the adjustment collars off, and that would probably only get me another quarter of an inch. But I'm pretty satisfied with it. I like it. Y'all want to see? Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. There it is. It's pretty low, right? I mean, it's not on the ground, but it's about as low as I want it. But yeah, that back is as far down as it'll go without removing the collars. Let me get around here to the other side. It's pretty low. It could definitely go lower though. I mean, it could definitely be lower, but I don't know. That's about as low as I like it. So the front will go lower. The front will go a good bit lower, probably a couple inches lower. But just like the back, I like the front right here, right where it is. And I'm going to be drifting it like this, so I don't know. I'm afraid if I went any lower, that tire would probably rub that fender. You get back here and take a look. It looks good. She looks lean. I like that a lot. There's a hard body, by the way. Anyways, the shop got finished this weekend, so we'll have a video out about that and let you see what's going on. Our projects should be kicked into overdrive now because now we have a shop to work in. We're gonna get the lift put up. We got to wire in the electrical at the shop and all that. But yeah, we should be putting out, starting in the next month or two. We should start putting out, I think, 2 videos a week, like we were at the beginning of or at the end of 2020, I think it was. I don't know. At one point we were putting out 2 videos a week, and I think we're going to try to do that again. Anyways, Mustang's done. We're going to take it to a drift event, probably another autocross, and see how the coilovers perform. They feel really nice. They're super comfortable. They're not as harsh as a lot of coilovers I've had on other cars. They were easy to put on, like any coilovers, easy to adjust, that sort of thing. But the only thing that stands out about them is they're crazy comfy. It's nice. Anyway, I'll see y'all later.